Hi everyone! This week we're finishing our What If the Dinosaurs Came Back art project. Now last week we read the awesome story If the Dinosaurs Came Back, and we even drew our own cityscape just like the one from the book. So this week we're going to be adding a dinosaur to our picture. So let's get started. For this project, you're going to need your cityscape artwork that you created last week in art class. You're also going to need some colored paper, also known as construction paper, a pencil, a black marker or crayon, some scissors, and a glue stick. Now, if you don't have any colorful paper at home, you could always use a white piece of paper and some colors to color your dinosaur in. So to get started with making our dinosaur, we need to choose a color of construction paper. I have this purple piece of paper, but it's much too big for my project. Because this paper is the same size as my cityscape paper that we created last week, I need to make this a little bit smaller so that my dinosaur actually fits on my page. So what I'm going to do is take the right side of my paper, and I'm going to fold it over to the left side, just like this. I'm going to make sure that my corners of my paper are lined up right on top of each other on one corner, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other corner. Once my edges are all lined up, I'm going to use my other hand to crease and fold my paper. Now I have what looks like a book. But we're going to cut this book in half. We are going to use our scissors carefully to cut right along the fold in our paper. Please make sure that you have an adult helping you with this step of cutting, because using scissors can be dangerous if done wrong. So I have my scissors in my dominant hand, and I want to make sure I'm always cutting away from me, not towards me, always cutting away. So I'm taking my paper, holding it with my non-dominant hand, and with my writing or my dominant hand, I have my scissors, and I'm going to line them up and carefully cut right on that fold that we made. You can see that I'm being careful and I'm lining my scissors up. My other hand is out of the way of my scissors, and I'm taking my time as I cut. Go all the way through. Okay, now you should have two pieces of paper that are smaller. We're going to put one of these aside because we just need one piece of paper to draw our dinosaur today. To draw our dinosaur, we're going to turn our paper tall ways, and we're going to start with the letter D, the lowercase letter D. So you can see here I have my pencil, and I'm carefully drawing a vertical line down the right side of my paper. Now I'm tracing with my magic finger, practicing that curved line down. Ta-da! There is the lowercase d, or the little letter D. Now, the word dinosaur starts with the letter D, and we're going to make a dinosaur using this letter to start with. This is actually our dinosaur's body. Now let's add a neck, because I know this doesn't look like a dinosaur right now. To draw our dinosaur's neck, we are going to first practice with our magic finger and draw a vertical line right next to that other vertical line for the top part of our D. So your drawing should look something like this. Next, we are going to practice first and draw a nice curved line up and over to the other side, just like that. If yours doesn't look just like mine, it's okay. Next, I'm going to finish my line and curve it all the way over. So that gives us our dinosaur's head. Now we have a body, neck, and head. What is our dinosaur missing? Aha! Dinosaurs have really interesting tails. Now you could draw your dinosaur's tail coming up, or swooping down, or going straight out. I'm going to draw mine swooping down. So go ahead and draw your dinosaur's tail. Next, we need to draw our dinosaur's legs. To do that, I'm just going to use my basic shapes. We are going to draw rectangles at the bottom of our dinosaur's body here. So I practiced with my magic finger, and now I'm going in with my pencil and drawing 2 rectangles, one on the front and one near the back of my dino's body. Alright, we've got a dinosaur, boys and girls. But I think our dinosaur is still missing some important features, and that's its other legs. So let's draw some more legs for our dinosaur. To start, we're going to draw a little line and curve it up to meet our dinosaur's stomach, just like that. That gives us the illusion that our dinosaur's leg is behind the other one. We're going to do the same thing with the front legs. Next, let's add a face for our dinosaur. I'm adding a little eye and a mouth for my dinosaur. Maybe your dinosaur is feeling very happy or very upset. It's up to you. You can show whatever emotion you would like on your dinosaur's face. I'm also going to add in an eyebrow right above my dinosaur's eyeball. Okay, so there's my dinosaur. He's looking pretty good, and we made this dinosaur from the letter D. Next, I'm going to use my black marker to carefully trace over all of my pencil lines, and this will add contrast to our drawing. Contrast is when something really stands out. So by outlining our pencil drawing with this bold and black marker, it can really help this drawing to stand out. So you see that I'm carefully tracing over my lines, but I am going to skip 2 little lines. This is the first line I'm not going to trace over right there. I'm also not going to trace over this line. I'm just going to go right past it. I'm skipping these lines because they don't need to be traced. There's actually no line between the dinosaur's tail and body and neck and body. They were just there to help us draw our dinosaur's basic shape. So with my eraser, I'm just going to go in and quickly, gently erase my pencil line. Boys and girls, that is the magic and beauty of using pencil to draw first. I'm now outlining or tracing my dinosaur's face and then just erasing that little line of pencil that is left behind. Now that we've drawn our dinosaur and outlined it with black marker, we can add whatever we want to our dinosaur. Let's decorate our dinosaur's body. So I'm going to add a nice little straw hat on top of my dinosaur's head. If you don't want to add a hat on top of your dinosaur's head, that's okay, but if you do, feel free. You can add whatever accessories you want to your dinosaur. I'm adding some texture to my dinosaur's hat to make it look like a straw hat or even a patterned hat by drawing some lines one way and then some lines the other way that are crossing over. Just like that. My dinosaur looks fancy now. I also gave it a nice fancy necklace. Now if you want, you could also add something to your dinosaur's body like spots or stripes. It's really up to you. I added some spots to my dinosaur's body, and I'm also adding some little toes. Now we're ready to add our dinosaur to our cityscape. So I'm getting my cityscape picture out and laying my dinosaur on top of it, and that is one big dinosaur. Wow, he's really tall, and he might go off of the paper. He might get cropped off a little bit, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is take my scissors and I am just going to bubble cut around my dinosaur. That means I'm going to leave a nice edge. I'm not going to get right up close to the lines. So with my scissors in my dominant hand and holding my paper with my non-dominant hand, I'm carefully cutting, making sure that I'm cutting away from me, and I'm just cutting around my dinosaur's body. Again, it's okay if you don't get right up next to that line. Remember to be careful when you cut. Take your time, cut away from yourself, and make sure that you have an adult help you with this step. You can see that my paper is in my non-dominant hand, and I'm using that hand to turn my paper as I'm cutting. This part's a little bit tricky, getting in between the tail and the legs, so make sure you're really careful. Alright, so I'm bringing my cityscape back, and now I have my dinosaur that is cut out, and I'm going to just place my dinosaur where I think it should go. Now it looks like my dinosaur is a little bit too tall for my paper, but that is a-okay, boys and girls. So now it's time to add some glue to the back of our dinosaur. You can see that I have a piece of paper on my table. I have my dinosaur flipped over so that I'm applying glue on the blank side, the side without my marker. And I'm carefully and gently rubbing my glue stick all over the back side of my dinosaur. And I'm making sure to glue all of the edges of my dino, making sure that all of those edges are covered. But I did not apply too much glue to my dinosaur's head because that part will be hanging off of the edge of my paper. Okay, so once your dinosaur's backside is all covered in sticky glue, carefully take your dinosaur and place it where you would like it to be. Would you look at that? There is a dinosaur in my cityscape. And it is a stylish dinosaur as well. It has a nice stylish hat and a beautiful necklace. So boys and girls, by putting this really colorful dinosaur that's outlined in black in our black and white cityscape, we've created lots of emphasis in our artwork. When I look at my artwork, the first thing that I see is that super colorful dinosaur. So at this point, boys and girls, you can be creative and you can add more to your cityscape. You can add more decorations to your dinosaur. It is totally up to you. I think I'm going to go in with my black marker and add some more details to my cityscape. Now you could draw something else on your street, like a car or a skateboarder, or you could draw something on your buildings, and I think I'm actually going to draw a little guy staring up at my dinosaur, looking at him, thinking, why is there a dinosaur in my city? But little does he know, the dinosaurs have come back. Okay everyone, I can't wait to see your dinosaur artworks. I hope you had fun creating with me this week. See you later!